Some folks in our area are still in the dark almost a week after Tropical Storm Isaias caused major damage. Here with an update on restoring power in New York is Con Ed Representative Alfonso Quiroz. So good morning to you, Alfonso.
Good morning, Dan.
Doing well. I think you're a little frozen there, but it's been about a week. So people who are still in the dark, they're frustrated, right? How many outages do we have this morning, and what is the timeline here?
Right now, we're looking at about 19,000 customers that are still out, and we are expecting most of them to be back up tonight at about midnight.
So I want to get to some of the timelines because we have a reporter in Westchester who is who has customers who are frustrated. They were told that they would have power by 11 p.m. Last night in certain areas as well. So did you miss the deadline of when you told people they'd be back up and running?
Well, the majority of the customers in Westchester we had estimated would be back up at about midnight last night. There were a few of those small customers that had smaller pockets that are going to take a little bit longer. What the goal was in Westchester especially was to really hit some of those pieces of equipment that serve a really large chunk of customers, and then we sort of work our way down. So there still will be small amounts of pockets of customers that are still out that take a little bit more, that are a little bit more labor intensive, and those are some of the customers that we're going to be focusing on today.
Yeah, I know when you say a small pocket, that is still thousands of people as we enter a heat wave. So can you guarantee that they will have their power back today? Because again, we're entering this heat wave. It's been a week without power. Can you guarantee it?
We're saying that our estimate right now is that we're going to be having the majority of them up. We're going to be up yesterday, and now what we're going to do is that we're going to try to get the rest of those up. There are still maybe some customers that are out, so I don't want to have to guarantee anything at this point. There may be some problems with getting some pieces of equipment in some specific areas. So you never want to guarantee that everyone is going to be back up, but we are sure going to go out there with the force that we've got and to try to get everyone back up as quickly as we possibly can in some of those hard-hit areas.
Why do the numbers fluctuate? Why do we see that outages are down and then the numbers go back up in certain areas? Like, for example, Queens, there were 4,100 outages, then the number jumped to 6,000. Can you explain the fluctuation here?
Well, I don't know about that specific number, but I do know that a lot of times there may be an outage that occurs that has nothing to do with the first original outage.
Those numbers, by the way, the numbers are from your website.
People out.
The numbers are from your website. It was
yes,
41.
no, that's right.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that what will happen is that the storm will come through, knock people out. We're out there making restorations, and then another windy storm will come through, or something else will happen that will knock additional people out. Sometimes you can see a little bit of a fluctuation like that.
And so I know you said there's no guarantee, but when you look at the website, your communication to people is that they would have had power back. You give a whole timeline for certain areas: Queens, Bronx, Staten Island, Brooklyn, all by 11 p.m. last night. So to say you're not guaranteeing, it's frustrating for those residents when they're looking to you for communications. That's why the governor says their performance was unacceptable. His quote was reckless disregard by utility companies to adequately have a plan. Were you not prepared for this, knowing that there was going to be strong winds?
Well, the reason, there is a lot of frustration up there. Obviously, it is very, very difficult to be out of power now that people are out of work, especially if they're working from home, they don't have power. And during the heat, that can be really difficult. So I completely understand the frustration. So what we have to do is that what our job is to do is that when an outage comes in is to try to keep them low in number and brief in time.
And what we've done is that we've assembled, you didn't keep them brief in time.
What we've done is that we've assembled a group of people from all around the country to go out and to try to restore as much as we possibly can. So we do have an army of people out there. It is
but you didn't keep it brief in time,
our job right now
Alfonso.
is to try to get our folks out there to make sure that they can try to get those people out.
It's been a week, so saying brief in time is interesting choice of words there. But I want to get to the number of crews you had in place prior to the storm. The governor said that you had a legal obligation to properly prepare for the storm. Did you have these crews, this army you referred to, were they in place prior to the storm?
Well, we had all of our crews in place and ready to go prior to the storm. Obviously, what we've done is that we've supplemented our crews with thousands of people from out of state. Those people come in and they will help utilities all throughout the region. So it's not just New York that is being hit. It's Connecticut, it's New Jersey, it's this whole area. So what we're seeing is that we're getting an influx more of people who have helped out in Philadelphia, and now they're working their way up here
Did you have?
So it's not really just New York City or Westchester County. It really is our entire region.
Was there a lesson learned here about communication? Do you feel, or can you own that you may not have properly communicated? PSE&G in Long Island saying, look, we had communication problems. We didn't get the word out there. Can you say we didn't communicate properly?
Oh, I think absolutely that there's going to be a time when all of this is over that we're going to be able to sit down and figure out what went right, what went wrong, and how we can improve it for the future.
Okay, I don't know why you can't admit it now that there's a communication problem, but can you also real quick, this is important.
I'm not sure how clear I can say it, but when things are done, we are going to look at it and figure out what went wrong and how we didn't, if we didn't communicate, where we didn't communicate properly, where people didn't get the message, and try to improve that in the future.
Understood. And I do want to get it out there, Alfonso, because it's important for people who have claims to make in terms of spoiled food and reimbursement for that kind of thing. So you are changing a bit and making it eligible for people to apply for a claim, and I don't know if that's been done before, so that is information that people should hear about. Can you explain that real quick?
Well, what I would say is that we are making it a little bit easier for people to file claims with us. They can get all of our information at coned.com or call us at 1-800-75-CONED, and our customer service reps will be able to explain everything in full to the customers.
Alfonso, you don't have an easy job. I know I'm tough on you. I appreciate your time this morning, and I appreciate you always come back to answer the tough questions. That is important that you do make these appearances, and I do appreciate it, even though we're tough on you.
Thanks, Dan.